Hey, if you're a parent, you need to hear this. Imagine you walk into your kid's room and see them chatting with a toy that talks back, answers questions, and says it wants to be your child's best friend. Sounds futuristic, right? Well, lawmakers are saying it's actually a huge red flag. Just a few days ago, Senator Marsha Blackburn didn't just talk about the risks, she brought props right into a Senate hearing, waving around AI-powered toys as a warning. She says our laws are pretty solid when it comes to keeping kids safe in the real world. But online, it's a wild west. No sheriff, no rules. She called out the big names like Meta, Snap, and YouTube for fighting against new laws meant to protect kids. Let me show the video from the Senate hearing before we continue with the analysis.
Senator Blackburn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you so much for your attention to these issues. And as Senator Lujan was saying, this is something that we do have to address. And it has been absolutely so frustrating that big tech has fought us every step of the way on any of this legislation. There are laws in the physical world that prohibit you from endangering children in any way, shape, or form. But in the virtual space, it's the Wild West. And you have companies like Meta, like Snap, like platforms like Instagram, YouTube, that really just don't care. And I had one mom I had been talking to about some of these issues. She was concerned about what was happening with her child. And I see some of my COSA mamas here. God bless you. But this mom said, you know, I feel like it's psychological warfare on my child and with what they're being subjected to. And so I think we all want to make certain we address this. Some of these toys, the AI toys that are out there, I think are very damaging. And I have grandchildren, of course, so when you hear them say they want to walk and talk, whatever kind of toy, that is a danger signal. As I tell my kids and their friends, do not buy any of these AI toys. I've got one right here, the Miko. And my staff has been quite entertained with some of these toys and things they will do, but it's very damaging. And of course, we had the Kuma Bear that was telling kids how to find matches and knives and sexually explicit conversations. And when you hear some of these toys that try to replace a relationship and to say, I'm your best friend, and please don't go, and take me with you. This is just so damaging. And so, Dr. Twenge, let me come to you on that. Talk for just a minute about the impact that these have as they impact social development as well as mental health.
Yeah, so we've already seen from social media and smartphones a huge decline in the amount of time that teens are spending with each other. Used to be one of the main activities of adolescence, hanging out with your friends in person, and that has been cut in half. They're not going out with their friends, they're not going to parties, they're not doing any of these things. And now we're seeing that extend into childhood as well, with the time on the iPad, and then we will, I think, continue to see that if these types of AI toys become popular as well, if they end up replacing those friendships of children.
Before my time runs out, this will give you gems the longer you play with this. So every day they reward you. And so they give you these little gems to stay with them. Talk about what you're talking about, but then carry this over to the addictive nature, the intentionally addictive nature of this.
Right. I mean, whether you're talking about toys or the AI companion apps, all of those things increase what they call engagement, what other people would call addiction. So they have the rewards, the gems, all of those things push toward spending more time with the toy, and thus often less time with friends in person, less time talking to family, the things that are so developmentally essential.
And then safety by design. This is something we have talked about with COSA, and the importance of having these social media platforms and these AI platforms work on safety by design. Why is that important?
So all the things that we've been discussing in terms of these negative outcomes that we see in terms of academic performance, in terms of mental health, we have seen the results of this national experiment on our children and on our teens, and it has been a disaster, and we can do better.
Thank you very much. Thank you to each of you for being here. Senator Markey?
It even gets personal, as Blackburn isn't just a senator, she's a grandmother. She told families, flat out, don't trust toys that talk, walk, or bond emotionally with your kids. She called them major danger signals. You'd think it's just harmless fun, but listen to this. Some AI toys have encouraged kids to search for knives, or even had sexually explicit conversations. And when these toys claim to be a kid's best friend, they're not just playing, they're replacing real, human friendships. Psychologist Dr. Jean Twenge backed her up with some chilling stats. Thanks to social media and smartphones, teens are spending half as much time with real friends as they did just a decade ago. AI toys and their companion apps, they're about to push that isolation even further, starting with little kids. Dr. Twenge says these gadgets are designed to be addictive, using rewards and badges to keep kids glued to the screen. Both Blackburn and Dr. Twenge agreed. The tech industry is running a massive experiment on our kids with almost zero safety rules. The results? Kids are struggling more in school, feeling worse mentally, and losing out on real-life social skills. And if nothing changes, those problems are going to haunt them into adulthood. So what's the bottom line? AI-powered toys aren't just cute or cool, they could be seriously damaging. Lawmakers are calling for tougher rules, real accountability for tech giants, and parents who stay informed and skeptical. Our kids deserve better than to be test subjects for smart toys that know way too much and care way too little. If you want to keep up with stories that matter to your family, don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks for listening, and keep your kids safe out there.